going on, Orchard students? So excited to be back here with you guys once again. We hope you had a great 4th of July. I know I did. Shot some fireworks. It was a good time. Gotta love it. Hey, if you guys are first time guests here today, we want to give you something today. Oh, yeah. Here you go. Packages, man. We want to get this to you guys. This is a first time guest box. If you guys are a first time guest, this is first time, or maybe during this COVID, you've watched a couple times and you still haven't got one, we want to get this to you. It's got t-shirts, or it's got a t-shirt. It's got sunglasses, some cool swag in there. We want to get that to you. So text the number on the screen and put new so we can get this to you guys. So also with that, we have a big announcement towards the end of the service. So if you guys are watching, stay tuned for that. And another thing, if you are an incoming 6th grader, we want to do something for you this Saturday at 11 o'clock. What we're going to do is basically a 6th grade promotion where we're going to have fun, games. You're going to get to meet your leaders, the guy and girl 6th grade leaders. So if you guys know anyone that is a 6th grader, maybe it's your sibling, maybe it's a friend, maybe you just want to pass the word. We want to get that to you guys. So see you this Saturday, and wait till the announcements and watch this fun video that we made.
Maybe like a birthday.
Oh, hey, what's going on, Orchard students? I'm your game host for today. My name is Jaime, and today I actually have a special guest, Mason. Come on down. Woo! Woo! Mason, have you ever seen the Emoji Movie?
I have.
What did you think about it?
Lots of emojis.
I like that answer. I like it. What's your favorite emoji?
The strong one, you know?
Oh, we both got the same one. Yeah, we gotta flex on the earth, you know. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Super weak.
What?
Super weak. I gotta
Hey,
pretend
we all started somewhere, so no worries, you know. Today the game has a lot to do with emojis. It's actually called Restaurants Emoji Edition. And to get us started, let's take a quick look at the rules. What do you got for us, Mason?
Alright, instructions are 1. Decipher the phrase. 2. When you know the answer, be the first to raise your hand. Use the emoji, raise your hand, blue sweater, guy, yeah. And keep it clean.
Keep it 100. That's what I'm talking about. So decipher the phrase. We're going to show you a couple emojis. You would have to send us either a text message to the number up above or send us a comment down below. And make sure you give us your name, your grade, and the answer. That's how you tell us. Your first person to raise your hand, you have to be wearing a blue sweater. Just kidding. You don't have to wear a blue sweater. I do have a blue sweater. And you got to keep it 100 because I keep it 100. He keeps it 100. He plays soccer actually, so yeah. All right, to get us started, what do we got going for us here? This is a test. So the other ones, you will be able to win a prize. But for this one, we're just getting the party started to make sure you guys know how the game works. What do you got for us, man?
Wow, okay. Looks like we have a burger, a Switzerland plus, you know. You gotta add in that Switzerland. And then it looks like a crown. What?
A crown? What is that rectangle? And why is the background red?
I don't know.
Does that mean anger? Is that the prince
don't
of?
know.
Is that the prince of
Egypt or whatever?
Egypt?
Maybe.
I guess everyone likes hamburgers.
Maybe. I don't know.
What's the answer on this one?
Crown.
Oh, who would have thought?
Burger King.
Burger King.
Okay.
I was just thinking, yeah, let's go get a burger in Egypt or something. But
It's like some sort of...
all right, so this is actually our first one. For your ability to win a prize, make sure you text us or you put a comment down below. So here we go. Try to decipher what these emojis say. What are they, man?
Alright, it looks like we have a tired emoji.
We got that little sleepy emoji.
Z's. I see 3 Z's. Looks like going back to school, backpack.
So we got a backpack. We got the Switzerland sign. What else we got?
Switzerland sign.
Some carne asada. Yeah.
Meat, steak. I don't know, rib. I don't know what that is.
And whose house is that? It looks like a brand new house in Thornton that I help people move into and probably do a lot of work there on my days off. Oh yeah, it's Joe and Ashley's house. So what do you guys think? Leave us a comment or send us a text message to the number. What do you think? So we got a sleepy face backpack plus a steak and a casa. So yeah, let us know in the comments down below. And Ashley and Nate, what do we got so far? Do we got anything going on? Nada. What's going on, people at home? Don't you guys use emojis? I feel like emojis are like the best thing, especially for text messaging, because I love expressing myself. And they have this emoji. That's my favorite one. I practice that one a lot. And I think I've seen him do it too, but I don't know if he wants to flex on the fam. No flexing? Well, you just told him earlier this is your favorite one. What's going on? What, do we got anyone?
Give him 10 seconds.
10 more seconds. All right, if you guys don't guess this in 10 seconds. Meat House. Close. You're really close, but one more guess. Come on. We got 10,
Outside.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Outback Steakhouse. Yeah, that one was pretty difficult for me because I like to take a nap with my backpack when I came from school and I had a really heavy meal. And usually I take my naps at home, so I wouldn't have guessed it either. What do you think?
No, I wouldn't have guessed it.
Yeah, that was. This one should be a little bit more simple. And remember, this is your last opportunity to win a prize, so give it a shot. So we got a can with some like rotten food in there?
Yeah.
Is that a tin can? What is that?
Taco meat? Burrito.
Oh.
It's like a burrito. Yeah.
A burrito.
Burrito Switzerland signed again.
And we got that rectangle.
Yeah. White rectangle. You got a
White rectangle. What does that mean? What is the author trying to say in this? It's so deep.
An avocado. We have an avocado.
And we got a money bag.
Yes.
Okay, so a burrito, Switzerland sign, avocado, and money.
Maybe somewhere expensive.
Yeah, it might be somewhere expensive. What do you guys think? Leave us a comment down below. What's going on so far? What are the questions? What are the comments, text messages? We got any responses yet?
Somebody said quarantine.
That's pretty close.
Snore house? What?
Huh.
Might have been for the last one. Oh, second.
Burrito and avocados. Where can you find those bad boys besides almost every Mexican restaurant I could think of? Oh, did I just give a big hint? All right, we're going to give a 10-second countdown. You want to count us down?
All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Chipotle, come on, it was Chipotle. Who doesn't eat at Chipotle? Thank you guys so much for playing. Well, for most of you who weren't playing, now it's time for some worship with Fabio. He actually has a new song for us, and yeah, let's get ready to worship the Lord.
How's it going, Orchard students? Hopefully you guys are doing well and staying safe. Here in a bit, we'll get into the in time of worship. We're going to sing the song Graves into Gardens. It's a beautiful song. It says a lot of truth, and actually gives a lot of encouragement over to to those, and also even to me, during these times of frustration and impatience. I love this part in the song in verse 3. If you want to look it up, it says, "I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend." That feels so much encouragement inside my heart, and I hope it does the same thing to you. And I know it's frustrating that we can't shake someone's hand or even give them a hug. I get it, it's frustrating, but that's the beauty of it, because it reminds us we're not gods. We're humans. We're not gods, and that's the beauty of God as well, that he uses this situation, uses bad times for the good. And he uses it to refine us, to put our trust back into him, and to remember what he says in his word, to find encouragement in his word and not find encouragement in the word of man. So Stay encouraged, guys. We're going to get through this 100%, all right? Trust me on that, 100%. We are going to get through this. Because if God said it, we're going to get through it 100%, all right, guys? If you guys haven't done this yet, definitely hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment below to see what other songs you guys want us to cover. But other than that, let's get into the song. I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praise, treasures that fade are never enough. Then you came along and put me back together. Every desire now satisfied here in your love. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing is better than you. I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you've seen them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley. There's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. Lord, there's nothing is better than you. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing is better than you. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. You turn graves into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You're the only one who can. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. Lord, there's nothing is better than you. Oh,
What is up, you guys? We hope that you're having a great night. Happy Sunday. And we're so glad to have you guys with us tonight. I've got Allie here with me. And Allie, what have you been up to this weekend?
Just a lot of family time.
Man, that's
Just hanging out with
awesome.
family.
Yeah, it's been hot this weekend, hasn't it? Like, our AC has been out in our house, and whew, it has been hot. But I think we got it working today, so
That's good.
yeah. So we're continuing in our series, What to Do When You Don't Know What to Do, talking about the story of Joseph. And so tonight we're going to hone in on physical pain and emotional pain. And so, Allie, have you ever experienced emotional pain?
Yes, I feel like everybody at one point in their life has probably experienced emotional pain. But one time that stands out is when we moved to Colorado about a year ago. It was really hard because it was we were moving from a really small town, and I'd never lived anywhere else, and I did not know anyone. And we weren't living like in town, so it's not like we could get to know neighbors. It was really difficult.
Yeah. I would say the same thing for me. Joe and our kids and me, like, we all moved from Georgia about 2 years ago, and that was the hardest thing I've ever done. Like, I've never made a move like that, and just coming from an area, like you said, where you know everybody. I think the saddest part for Joe and I was we would go to the Chick-fil-A in Prairie Center and nobody knew us, and I was like, this is so sad, you know. But no, but like, seriously, it was hard, like just feeling alone and not knowing anybody. But God really used that time, I feel like, in our life to bring us closer to Him, because that's all we had to rely on was God. And so I think we're going to see a little bit of that in Joseph's story too. But what about physical pain? Have you ever experienced physical pain?
A lot of sports, like I play a lot of sports. One that stands out, 8th grade track year, I was doing hurdles in practice, and I fell and I rolled on my arm and I broke my elbow. So I was out for the rest of the track season and
That's crazy.
softball season.
Do you
so-
wear a cast or something?
a
or-
sling?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
It wasn't a
that sounds
horrible
so
break,
bad.
so I didn't have to do a cast, but
Yeah, yes. I've broken one bone in my ankle playing basketball. But after we moved here, I had to get my gallbladder removed, and so that was on top of being in pain from not knowing what was going on inside of my body. I was so scared too, and so I think God uses those times in our life to bring us closer to Him, and He can use that for His purpose. But I think we always, instead of asking, you know, what do we do in those situations, I think naturally the first question we ask is, why is this happening to me? You know, instead of what to do. But Vanjie tonight, she's going to talk a little bit about that, so tune into this message.
So, when you don't know how to do something, how to fix something, or how something works, what do? Ask a teacher? Ask your parents? Ask your friends? Ask someone you really know and trust? No! You go to the internet and ask some randos. But I'm not talking about creeps here, I hope. No, I mean the people of the internet! You know, those people who make how-to videos. Because chances are, if you're trying to figure out something, someone on the internet has already figured it out for you. Things like, how do I unsend a text? No. How do I do a winged eyeliner? How do I get rid of the zit by Friday night? How do I get out of gym class? How do I screen cap Snapchat without getting caught? They'll never know. But then there are things in life that don't have an easy fix, that don't have a simple solution, that don't have a how-to video. Things like what to do when you have problems with family, or when it seems like you have no control in your life, or what to do when someone has done something to you. I mean, clearly, they gotta go. The truth is, there's a lot of life that doesn't have a solution you can just find online. So how do you know what to do when you don't know what to do?
Hey guys, Vanjie here. We are in week 4 of our What to Do When You Don't Know What to Do series. We're continuing to talk a little bit more about Joseph and his life, and you know, obviously, if you recall the story of Joseph, he kind of just had a bunch of highs and lows. So to give a little bit of a recap, you know, he was his dad's favorite son. He got that coat of many colors. But then his brothers, out of jealousy, sold him into slavery. He ended up getting shipped off to Egypt. where he had to work in a top official's household, and he did a really good job there, but then he was falsely accused of something that he didn't do, and he was thrown into prison. So that's where we left off, and that's where we're going to pick up today and kind of talking about that. But you have to kind of just put yourself in Joseph's position here. Put yourself in his sandals, if you will. This guy was completely innocent, and here he's just rotting away in prison. And you might be thinking to yourself, like, God, how unfair that is. And so, have you ever been in a situation where you went through something difficult or painful or hurtful, and you're just thinking to yourself, why am I here? Like, how is this fair? What purpose does this serve? And at the time, it could feel like it's so pointless. And I'm sure that's what Joseph was feeling like. What is the point of this? Why am I here? I did nothing wrong. And that's what we kind of want to talk about today is, there's things that you go through, and, hopefully in most cases you come out of it stronger or wiser. But during that time, it's hard to kind of see that, right? It's hard to see what's going to come of it and why you would do that. And the one thing that I really want to emphasize to you guys is because I know in the world that we're living in today, it's so easy for us to say, why is this happening? And this is so unfair. And if there's a God that loves us, then why is there so much pain and suffering? And I just really kind of want to remind you guys that, bad things happen in the world because we are sinners. But God allows those things to happen, but it doesn't mean that he caused them to happen. That's the sin in our world that allows those things to happen, or that forces those things to happen. But God is, the great thing about him is that he can use that hurt and that pain and the things that are meant for evil, he can use those for good and turn them around and repurpose them. And that is what happened in the story of Joseph. So let's pick back up on where we left off with him being in prison. So he's sitting in prison, and there's these two other men that are thrown into prison with him. One was the Pharaoh's cupbearer, and then there was Pharaoh's baker. The two of them were thrown into prison with Joseph. Both of them had a dream one night. And when they woke up, they were so distraught over their dreams. But they didn't know what the dreams meant. So Joseph said, well, God is the interpreter of all dreams, so tell me your dreams and let's see if God can interpret it for us. So they did. And for the cupbearer, his dream, he was going to get reinstated to his original position back in the palace with Pharaoh. But for the baker, his dream was that he was not. He was not going to be reinstated, and both of those things came true. Joseph had told the cupbearer, when you get reinstated back into your position, please, tell the Pharaoh about me. Tell him how I interpreted your dream. And the cupbearer was like, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to tell him all about you. And then guess what happened? He totally forgot. Just 2 years goes by, and poor Joseph's just sitting in prison. And the cupbearer remembers Joseph because Pharaoh has a dream and he needs it interpreted. And so the cupbearer's like, oh my God, I totally forgot about Joseph. Let me tell you about this dude real quick that I met in prison. We did time back in 98. No, I'm just kidding. But he tells them about Joseph and how Joseph interpreted his dream. And so, sure enough, Pharaoh's like, well, go get him, man. Call your homie up, bring him up. I want to see if he can interpret this dream for me. Long story short, he interprets Pharaoh's dream. It comes true, and Pharaoh ends up putting him in the highest position in Egypt, in charge of all of the food supply for the entire country. This top official, he's literally second to Pharaoh, which is basically like the king. And so you see that even though, God allowed these things to happen to Joseph, he was a God-serving man. He was a good man. But these bad things still happened to him because of men's sinful nature. If he didn't go to prison, he wouldn't have met this cupbearer and baker who had these dreams that he was able to interpret. And had he not interpreted their dreams, Pharaoh would have never known that he could do that. And so when Pharaoh had those dreams, he was able to call on Joseph. So for every hardship that Joseph endured, God used that pain and what was meant for evil and turned it into a new purpose that was for good. And so that's what I want to just really kind of, tell you guys is that if you're going through something difficult and challenging and you just don't understand why it's happening and what the purpose is, remember that, your difficulties and your struggles can be repurposed for a new purpose. And, God can take the evil and the bad that's going in your life right now and turn it into something good. So guys, just remember that, when you're going through hurtful or difficult situations that, these situations are very unique to you. Just like what Joseph went through was very unique to him. People are not always going to have the same experiences as you, even though they might have similar hurt or similar pain. But I think that actually kind of just makes what you're going through all the more meaningful. Because when God uses that hurt or that difficult situation to bring you to a new purpose, that's a very personal story that you can share with others if you feel comfortable doing it. And it could be very encouraging to other people. And it's not obviously going to be the exact same for them because they didn't go through the exact same thing that you went through. But a lot of the circumstances can be similar. So for example, if you're going through a breakup right now, your specific relationship is obviously not going to be the exact same as, your friend's breakup, but that pain is going to be the same. And a lot of those feelings are going to be the same. Or let's say you're struggling with, some family drama. Those are things that other people that can relate to, but your specific experiences are, can be a testimony to somebody else. There's a bunch of other challenges and difficulties that you're gonna face, throughout your life. And I just want you to remember that when you don't know what to do, just remember that God can use those difficult situations and that hurt and pain, and He can turn it into a new purpose for you. And sometimes it might take a little while for you to understand what that new purpose is. But look at Joseph. Once he was elevated to the highest position in Egypt, other than Pharaoh, he was able to help so many people, and even his own family who had hurt him so badly. But had he not gone through everything that he went through, every single circumstance in his story was an integral part to him getting to where he ended up in. If he had never been sold into slavery, he would have never ended up in Egypt. If he had never gone to prison, even though he was falsely accused, he would have never met, Pharaoh's inner circle of servants. And had he not interpreted their dreams, he would have never been able to do it for Pharaoh. So again, God used those difficult situations, those hurtful situations, to bring Joseph to a life and a position of greatness. And so just, hold tightly to God, hold tightly to your faith, because God is going to bring you out of it, and you're going to realize what that bigger purpose was.
Hey, thanks Vanjie for that awesome message. It's kind of hard topic, talking about pain, hurt emotionally, physically. So thank you for that message. Hope you guys got the bottom line of that. You can always come rewatch it when it's posted again. What I want to talk to you guys about today is this guy named Jesus. Why do we talk about him all the time? Why do we look at the scriptures so much and look at what this one guy said? Well, it's all about the Bible and what we believe in. See, we believe in that we're not perfect. See, we're separated from God in a relationship, and Jesus, He came down. He is God. He is God's Son. He came down, and He mended that relationship for us by dying on the cross for our sins. Anything that you've done wrong, anything that I've done wrong, He died for our sins so that we can have a relationship with God again. And the awesome part about that, He died and He rose 3 days later to signify that He defeated death, that we in the afterlife will be with Him again. And see, you guys can have that relationship too. If you haven't said yes to Jesus before, it's all about saying yes to what He did on the cross, saying that you believed in what He did, that He died for you and your sins, everything you've done wrong, and you're made perfect and holy in His eyes again. So if you haven't said yes before, you can follow along with this prayer with me. You can start it like this. God, thank you for sending your son for me. I know I'm not perfect, but you made me perfect by Jesus dying on the cross. I love you. Please come into my life. Build this relationship with me so I can live for you. God, you're my Lord, you're my Savior, and I accept you. I say yes to you. Sweet. If you guys said yes to that, to Jesus for the first time, we want to know about it. So go ahead and text this number, say yes to it, so that we can contact you, and we want to walk with this with you. We want to help you in this new relationship that you found with Jesus. So hope you guys had a great service. Want to see you guys again next week. You were waiting for a big announcement, so here it is. This Sunday, we are going to have a movie night in person in our back parking lot. We're going to do a movie night, and we're inviting all of you guys. Any current 6th through 12th graders, we want you guys to be here and have a blast with us watching a movie. So we're going to announce that movie on social media this week, so stay tuned, watch out for that, and we can't wait to see you there. Reminder for all the 6th graders, incoming 6th graders, we're going to have that event at 11 o'clock on Saturday too. So can't wait to see you guys there. Let people know. We want to see everybody. We want to have a great time. So have a great rest of your week, guys. See you next one.